All right, you guys, here is your Friday Pilates practice recorded. We'll begin lying on our back, of course, to start. So taking a moment here to settle into space. Having your knees bent and feet grounded to the floor. You can choose to line the knees up and the feet up with your hip bones, narrow stance, or you may decide to take your feet out a little wider, let the knees gently come together. That sometimes can help the lower back open up a little bit more. The arms are going to be lengthened down, angled out with palms to sky. Roll the shoulders open, press the backs of shoulders lightly to floor, and broaden your chest space. Stretch the crown of your head to the back of your mat to elongate your cervical spine. Let your eyes close, which helps to bring the focus inward so that we can really start to connect our mind and body, and we'll do that through our breathing technique. Let's begin by taking a deep inhale through the nose. Softly purse your lips, exhale a steady stream of air out through the mouth. Again, a deep inhale, make sure to fill all the way up. A long, smooth exhale, make sure that you empty out completely to the very bottom. You breathe in then from the pit of your belly, lifting into the ribs and filling up into the chest. Then as you exhale, emptying from the top of your chest, pressing down through your ribs, and then squeezing out through the lower belly region. Feel the ribs expanding out as your lungs fill with air. Squeeze the breath out with energy and knit the ribs back to the midline of your body. A soft, easy inhale through the nose. A strong and powerful exhale now through your mouth. Very audible here. Easy inhales allow the belly to stay relaxed as it rises and fills. And when you exhale with that force and power, your core muscles begin to activate. So feel the contraction of the firming up of belly. I'd like you just to continue to stay here with that breath, building up the relationship between that and your powerhouse. Can you pull your abs in more deeply each exhale you take? And as you focus on the activation of your powerhouse, it helps then to clear your mind of all other things so that you can stay present within. Let's take 4 more slow cycles here. Noticing all the little nuances of movement and sensation. Once more, breath in, big, big, big and full. And as you exhale, I'd like you to open up the eyes. And as you breathe in, you're slowly turning your head to look over the right shoulder. And then exhale, you're going to slowly then turn the head and look over the left shoulder. Breathing in, head slowly swivels to look over right shoulder. And then exhale, we'll take it over to the left shoulder. Let's do 1 more to each. A nice rotational movement for our neck. Warming it up, as sometimes that's a common area of tension. Take it over to the left. Returning your head back to centered space. Let's next interlace the fingers. Take your hands behind your head. You want to cup the base of your skull and make sure none of your fingers are on the neck at all. I want you to lift your elbows up to the sky. Those arms should closely frame your ears. Let's take an inhale to prepare. Allow the head to stay heavy as you exhale. Use your hands to lift the back of head off the floor as you press your chin into the chest. And then slowly take the head back down again, breathing in. Again, head is heavy, lifting it up, pulling it almost back before bringing your chin to your chest. And then lowering the head down, take an inhale. We'll do this one last time. Keep those arms nicely close to the body, to the head rather, lifting up on the exhale, chin to chest. Return the head back down, breathing in. As you exhale, release your hands and lift your arms up to the sky. When you breathe in, I'd like you to shrug your shoulders off the ground, lift your fingertips closer to the ceiling. And then exhale, plug the backs of shoulders to the floor. Again, reach up high, breathe in. Pull back in, breathing out. Once more, lifting, generally trying to avoid this during your practice as it closes off the chest a little bit. But then when you anchor down, it opens the chest and it also activates the muscles behind you between the shoulder blades. Maintain that structure. When you breathe in next, I'd like you to take both arms and slowly reach them to the back of your workspace. Seal the ribs down and print your spine. Then as you breathe out, I'd like you to take those arms to lift back up to the sky, but this time take them all the way down beside you. Keep them close in. Again, inhale straight up and overhead, firm up the belly. Exhale, reaching back up to the sky and lowering the arms down beside you. This time on an inhale, let's lift the arms up, then overhead, but as they reach behind, open them slightly to create the letter Y. And then exhale, as you start to lift the arms back up, they narrow to come into shoulder width distance apart as the arms come all the way to the ground. Again, with the Y, inhale, narrow as you reach up, then widen slightly as you reach back. Then narrow back in as the arms lift. And come back down beside you. This time on an inhale, you're going to lift the arms straight up to stack above shoulders. Then you're going to open them out to a T. Exhale, lift the arms straight back up to stack above shoulders and lower straight back down. Inhale, lifting up, but then opening out to T. Exhale, lifting back up. And then lowering back down at your sides. Take a breath in while you're here and press those arms to the floor. Firm up your belly. Exhale, use your core strength to lift your feet off the ground. Slowly draw the knees to your chest and then place your hands on your knees. Start to rock side to side. Stay with the tempo of your breath. Then from side to side, create a circular motion with your legs. They're both moving in the same direction, rolling and massaging out your SI joints just above the tailbone. Take then a moment to pause and reverse direction. Deep inhales, strong, steady exhales. Good. Start to bring the legs back into still. Next, we're going to inhale to separate the legs and open them wide. Exhale, circle them around and back in together again. So we'll separate on an inhale. Circle through on the exhale. Let's do 4 more here. 4. Circle around and in. 3 more times, pausing at the top of your breath to have the hips opened the most, feeling that within, and then coming back through. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. 1 last time. Separate and open. Breathe in. Circling through on the breath out. We'll keep the knees drawn in. We'll just open the arms to T. Press them into the floor and take an inhale. Strengthen in your belly as you lower the legs to your right. Exhaling. Looking over left shoulder. Your feet can come down to the ground first to help support that as the legs start to land and settle. Make sure the back of your left shoulder stays grounded. If you need to, you can stagger the legs to help them land even more. Another option is to keep them stacked, taking right hand to the outside of the left leg, pressing lightly down to assist you more deeply into that twist. Deep breaths in and long breaths out. Let's do 2 more. Breath in. Breath out. Last one, inhale. Again, with a strong core, exhale, slowly lift the legs up through center and head through center. We'll stay here to inhale again. Now we'll lower legs to left, looking over right shoulder on the breath out. Ease slow into it. Your core is working to support that transition into twist. Back of right shoulder presses to floor. Expansion and contraction of your midsection because of your breathing. And finding a position of your legs that lets them settle. 3 more cycles of breath here on this side. On that third round of breath, exhaling to firm up the belly, use that strength to lift the legs up through center, head through center, and then release your feet gently to the ground. Arms can come in closer beside you. We'll take the right ankle next and cross it over left knee. Take your right hand to the inner thigh and gently push the leg out. From here, you can stay as is, or you may choose a different option of your figure 4 stretch. So getting your body in a position that works best for you, that you're not creating any tension or strain. If you do choose to offer some slow movements, be mindful of not the movement itself per se, but the change in sensation to the stretch in the right hip. Breathe deep into that space and just notice and feel. Good. Let's stay here for 3 more cycles of breath. Once you have completed those cycles, returning back to center, releasing the stretch. Switching to the other side, left ankle crossing, foot flexing, and hand to inner thigh to push out. Coming into any variation from there of your figure 4. Make sure your shoulders are pulled away from the ears. Your chin is only fist distance from chest. The breath is big. The focus is steady. Beautiful. 3 more cycles of breath here on this side. Once you've completed here, returning back to stillness and center and releasing the stretch. Let's next lift both legs to sky and point the toes. Keeping the legs locked in and firm, grab the back of your right leg with both hands. Start to lower the left leg down towards the earth. Lower is more heat, higher has more ease. Spine is rooted. With legs long, I want you to pulse the right leg in twice when you inhale. I want you to use your breath out and your core strength to switch out the legs, breathing out. Hold the left leg, breathe in 2 slow pulses with pause subtly. Exhale with a switch. I want you to continue to alternate, to continue to use your abdominal strength for stability and support. Those subtle pauses behind each pulse so that you really get a deep stretch into the backs of the legs. Good. Make sure you're breathing throughout. The next time your right leg is pulled in, I want you to hold the leg there and then start to lower the left leg to the ground. Either fully extend the left leg or bend the knee and ground the foot. Make sure your tailbone is rooted. The right leg is pressed into the hands, but then you're also pulling in. And then I'd like you to flex your right foot, heel to sky, and then point the toes. Again, heel to sky. And point. We'll do that one more time. Flexed foot. Pointed toes. Right foot relaxes. Stretch releases. Bending knee, foot to floor. Lift the left leg up, grab behind. The right knee can stay bent or you can extend for more intensity, but just make sure then the left leg doesn't get compromised on form. Press left leg into hands, but also use hands to pull leg in closer. Flex your left foot now. And point the toes. Again, heel to sky and point. Once more, flexed foot, pointed toes, foot relaxes, stretch releases, bend your knee, foot to ground. So now both knees will be bent, both feet on the floor. Knees and feet are back to hip bone width distance. And also make sure your ankles are beneath the knees. Let's lift the arms back up to the sky, stacked above the shoulders, the palms turned forward and the hands shoulder width distance apart. Take an inhale while you're here. Firm up your lower belly, pull up slow, the head, the neck, and shoulders off ground as the arms draw down to a hover right beside you, stiff like a board. Lower back down and restack the arms. Take an inhale. Keep your tailbone grounding. Lower back down, take a breath in. 2 more here. One last. Stay lifted. Pump the arms. Move nothing else. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms, head, and shoulders come down. Take a moment to recover, however that looks like or feels like for you. So we're just kind of warming up the body here. Let's next take our legs into tabletop. Stack the knees above the hips, ankles and knees on the same plane, and hugging the legs together to help support them so that they're not just working independently. Make sure your tailbone didn't lift up and the knees didn't pull in too close. Let's take the arms back up and again to sky, breathing in. Firming up, lifting up, pulling down. Make sure the knees did not start to draw in here, and then come back down, breathe in. A little bit more challenging now because our feet are elevated. 2 more times, so now we've eliminated a little bit of structure support coming from grounded feet to lifted legs. 1 last time. Stay lifted and inhale. Extend the legs out long, exhale, point the toes. Stay here and pump the arms and inhale for 5, 3, 4, 5, then exhale for 5. We're only going to 50. Here's 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, vigorous arms. Yeah, here's 30, tight belly, 3, 4, 5, exhale, nice strong legs. Here's 40, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Last 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, halfway hundreds, release and recover. Good. All right. We'll come back into stillness, keep the knees into the chest, just release your hands and either the arms are gonna come out to T, or excuse me, arms are gonna come down beside you. If you want more support, the arms are gonna come out to a T. If you want less support and a little bit more heat, you can lift the arms up to sky. Just make note, if your arms are lifted, we don't want them to shift or move at all, so they stay still, steady, and strong. The legs are pulled in. Let's take an inhale. Very slowly, I'd like you to take those legs and extend them out away from body. Use the entire breath out to get to your fully lengthened space. And then draw the knees back in again on an inhale. Again, slow extension of legs. Lengthen out through your hips, your thighs, your shins, the tops of feet, then the toes. Then you pull in from the hips, the thighs, then the knees pull in, then the heels lower to the glutes. Again, exhale, hips, thighs, shins, tops of feet, then the toes. Then pull in from the hips, the thighs, the knees, and the heels come in. This time we're going to extend a little bit more quickly so that we can give ourselves time to flutter kick for 3, 2, 1. Inhale the knees in. So we just added a little bit. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Knees pull back in. Let's do that twice more. 3, 2, 1. Inhale it in. Once more. Knees in, hands to knees, recovery here. Okay, we'll come back into stillness here. We're going to take our feet to the floor, and then we're going to stretch the legs all the way down to the ground. Push out through your heels, lift your toes up high to the sky. Make sure the inner edges of your feet are run parallel, that your inner thighs are rolling and hugging into the midline of your body. You're going to reach both arms to the back of your workspace, with the palms turned in and the hands a little bit wider than shoulder width. Start to draw your shoulder blades down your backside. Feel the ribs sealing down, feel the pubic bone zipping up and the core already tight. So that when you breathe in, start lifting up your arms, head, and shoulders. Use a really strong exhale to lift all the way upright, stack tall. Slow hinge to fold over legs, let your head fall through the arms. Stack up tall when you breathe in. Roll down slowly as you breathe out. Push through those heels. Articulate your spine and scoop up the belly. Never let your legs relax. We begin again. Start it on an inhale. Lift heart to sky and fold. Upright breathing in. Tucking, rounding, and rolling down, breathing out. Let's do a couple more. Inhale it up. Feel the legs pressing down to the floor. Even if they wind up lifting off a bit, the energy of them anchoring will help you to lift a little bit more with ease. Stack up on an inhale. Arms slightly pulled back, looking straight on as you come down. Then with this last one, let's try to keep our arms framing our ears through the movement. Start lifting on an inhale. Pull up, stack up, fold. Coming tall on your breath in. We're going to stay seated. On the breath out, we just take the arms down beside us. I'm going to take a quarter turn to face the camera. You guys can stay as you are. We're going to work on spine twist next. So the legs are still fully extended, but you can have a little bend in the knees if you're needing. Either way, your feet are still flexed, your legs are still hugged to midline, and you want to sit up really tall. We're going to come into a genie position with our arms, stacking one forearm on top of the other, and making sure that your arms are elevated to shoulder level, that they're not above them nor below them, right along. Then lift your chest up higher and pull your shoulder blades down further. Breathe in. Hug your legs and exhale, take a twist over to your right. Not leading with arms, but leading rather with your waistline. Then return to center on an inhale. We take it then to our left. The arms are only moving because the torso has. Come back through center, breathe in. Get taller now as you rotate to your right. Eyes stay along the horizon. Center as you inhale. To your left. Come back to center. Steady your pelvis. One more to each. Center on an inhale. To your left side. Good. Center when you inhale. Stay centered. Exhale the arms out to T now. Spread your fingers. Shoulder blades in and down your back. Now we draw circles with the arms. Keep those shoulder blades locked in tight to place. That's going to help support the rest of your body so that it doesn't move while the arms do. Reach from wall to wall. 3, chest high. 2, belly tight. 1, pause. Reverse direction. Inhale, exhale. 5, keep reaching out. 4, keep hugging in. 3, keep steady. 2, keep breathing. 1, and then let the arms float down and roll out those shoulders. We're going to do one more seated exercise, and it is a bit of a complex movement. I don't do it that often, but every once and again I do throw it in. It's called saw. So there's going to be a lot of elements that we're needing to focus on. So what I'm going to do is kind of break it up and move it in parts really slowly to start, and then we'll bring it up to pace from there. So what I'd like you to do from your seated position is take your legs out a little bit wider. So if you're on a yoga mat, you're just going to kind of bring your feet out to the inner edges of your mat, or the outer edges of your mat rather. Your feet are flexed, you're sitting up tall. So saw is a little bit of a combination of that spine twist we just did and a spine stretch. So in spine stretch, what happens is we're sitting upright and we reach forward with our fingertips, we pull back with our belly, right, scooping out our core. And we're gonna kind of meld those two together. We're gonna be focusing on our abdominals, focusing on the rotational twist, but also we're going to be strengthening a bit into the backs of our arms. So we sit upright with arms to T to begin. You're going to take an inhale, and I want you to take a twist over to your right. As you breathe out, that left arm is going to cross a bit more. You're going to try to saw your right pinky toe off with your left pinky finger. Your right arm is going to reach behind you to flip the palm up and then press that arm behind you up towards sky to activate that tricep. Now pausing here, and I'm going to take just a quick turn so you can see it a little bit easier here, side profile way. So my backhand is pressing up. Now my upper body, of course I'm wearing a sweatshirt, so it's hard to tell, try to keep it tight. We're not just folding and collapsing over, we're scooping up the belly. Yeah. So I'm hollowed out right here, and my spine is rounded. Then I'm going to come back up through center. I'm going to now twist over to my left. Then my right pinky finger is going to try to saw off my left pinky toe. I scoop my belly around my back. I'm going to press my back arm to the sky with the palm faced up. Here we are. Energy through our fingers. And that's it in a nutshell, but it's going to come on pace now. So when you breathe in, you're going to come through center, open to T, and twist to the right. When you breathe out, sawing, flipping, pressing, scooping. Then inhale through center, over to the left. Exhale, saw, scoop, press, reach. Inhale through center, over to the right. Exhale to saw. Inhale through center and over to the left. And we saw it out again. One more to each. Inhale, upright to the right. Exhale, scoop out belly, reach to that pinky toe. Inhale through center, over to the left. Come back through center, open to T. Exhale, lower the arms. Take your legs together. Relax your feet. Fold over your legs and let your arms hang heavily down in front of you. Let the head hang heavily down. And then I want you to breathe between your shoulder blades here. Deep inhale. Long and steady exhale. Again, breathe in to the back body. Breathe out. One last time. Inhale in. As you breathe out, I'd slowly like you to roll your body back up to a nice tall seated position. Good. From this seated position, we're going to go ahead and work next on strengthening our quads and our core. So let's reflex the feet. Let's sit upright. Extend the arms forward, palms faced in, hands a little bit wider than shoulder width to start. Chest up and shoulder blades down the back, and breathe in, get tall. When you breathe out, tuck your tailbone under, scoop your belly, roll back a notch, and stay here to breathe in. Exhale, let's lift the right leg slowly off ground, push out through the heel of your foot. Take the leg down when you breathe in. And then the left leg lifts up. Take the leg down when you inhale. And let's roll back a little bit further. Exhale, inhale again. Right leg lifting on the exhale. Taking it down on an inhale. Lifting the left side. Everything else in your body is like a statue. Take the leg down with resistance on an inhale. Roll back a bit further. Exhale and stay there. We're going to do 2 more rounds. Exhale the right leg up. Lower it down. Breathe in. Left leg lifting. Taking it down on an inhale. Rolling back a little bit further, exhale. Here's our last one. Exhale, right leg up. Take it down. Left leg lifts. Leg comes down on an inhale. Then we return slowly to the floor. Exhale. Arms beside you, close in. Bend your knees and ground your feet to the floor. Knees and feet are back to hip bone width distance apart. Ankles are beneath the knees. If your feet are out in front of you like such, the next exercise we're going to do, there's a greater chance of your hamstrings cramping up. So bone likes to be stacked on top of bone for good support and structure. The arms are fully stretched down and used as anchors for assistance. Let's take a breath in. Exhale, the feet and arms push down as the hips press up to bridge. Keep your shoulder blades grounded so the ribs stay dropped in line with body and the core engages. Roll back down on your inhale, articulate the spine here as well. Again, exhale, peel off the ground, press your hips up and hug your legs towards midline so the knees don't wing out. Roll back down, breathing in. Let's do a couple more here. Arms press in and hips press up. Roll it down, breathe in. Once more here, arms push down, hips lift, legs hug, glutes squeeze. Keep the arms pressed down firm, lift your right foot off the ground, breathe in, draw the knee towards chest. And then exhale, slowly return that foot to the ground. Then your left foot comes up and the knee pulls in on an inhale. Dig into that right heel that's grounded there. And then exhale, release back down. Lift your right leg back up again. Keep it there. Then pulse the hips for 3. Dig the heel down. 2. Squeeze the glute. 1. And then release that right foot to the floor. Inhale, the left leg lifts up. Keep it there. Exhale, pulse for 3. Pumping up. 2. Digging down. 1. And then release that left foot to the floor. Keep here now on your inhale, lift your heels off the ground. And then heels release to the floor again. Heels lift up on an inhale. Heels come down on the exhale. Not the hips though, let's do 2 more. Try to maintain the level of your hips throughout. Exhale, release the heels. 1 last time, heels high and then pulse the hips for 3, 2, 1, and then slowly roll back down, return the heels to the floor, and recover however that looks like or feels like for you. A little bit of movement if you'd like, or stillness if you'd rather. Okay, we're going to continue to kind of work with our legs. We're doing a lot of hamstring strengthening there with our bridge work. Now I'd like us to work onto outer hips and inner thighs. So we're all going to roll onto our left side next. We want to make sure that we are in a straight line of energy and that we're stacked. Our hips are stacked on top of each other, legs are stacked, and even for the most part, the shoulders stay stacked. Right hand comes onto your hip and that elbow points up high to the sky. I want you to push out through the heels of your feet. Press your left side body to the ground as your right leg hovers slightly. And then just a very subtle inward rotation of leg. Look straight on to line your neck up with your spine and make sure your belly is pulled in and up. Take a breath in. Exhale, I want you to lift that right leg up a little bit higher, but don't let the toes roll open to sky. Hover the leg on and inhale. So the leg can lift up a lot higher when you externally rotate it, but then we're working on our quad. I want us to work on the abductor there, abduction. Yeah, so we're going to lift with the outer hip. We're going to lower into hover. Push through that heel. 4 more. 4. Hover. 3 more. Lift. And hover. 2 more times. Slow pull up. Good. Take it down with resistance. 1 last time. Lifting leg. And then taking it back to hovered space. I want us next to point the toes and then externally rotate the thigh. Notice here, right, I'm rolling open, but it's not a huge shift, right? My hip didn't pull back. It stays stacked. It's the muscles that surround the hip joint that are working to roll the thigh open. Maintaining that as best you can. You're gonna pull the leg slightly out in front, and then on an inhale, I want you to tap those toes to the ground twice. Tap, tap. When you breathe out, I want you to lift that leg up as high as you can now because of the external rotation. And we're gonna tap behind twice, breathing in. Exhale, lifting up. So we're gonna continue to alternate forward and back here. And because our body or leg now is moving front and back, it throws the rest of our body off balance. So we have to use a little bit more core strength here to provide the same stability of our upper body so it doesn't shift around. Tap behind and lift. 2 more. Tap, tap, lift, behind, tap, tap, lift. 1 more each. Keep rolling that thigh open towards the sky. 1 more time. Tap, tap, lift the leg up. Take the leg down so the legs are now shoulder width distance apart. Roll the leg back in and push out through the heel. Pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. This is a very small, tiny movement here. You're always going to emphasize the lift up. We're never going to focus on dropping it down. Yeah. For 5, keep pumping up. 4, steady breath. 3, good. 2, 1, and then let that leg gently come down. Bend the knee to the floor in front and then take a moment just to kind of tap out that hip. So I know I didn't really mention it during that cycle, but that elbow that was pointing up, it really should never shift. If it does, that's generally just an indication that other parts of her body too have shifted, most likely the top shoulder, the top hip, which means our top body has either fallen back or dropped forward, and we want to maintain the stack throughout. All right, let's take that right foot and step it behind the left leg next, pointing that knee towards the sky. Take the left leg and we're going to angle it a little bit more out in front of you. It's just going to give you room to move a lot more with ease. Sorry guys, my contacts are acting up on me. I apologize. You see me here like blinking my eyes furiously. Anyway, all right, left leg is angled out in front. Right hand on the hip and elbow to the sky once again. We're going to flex the left foot, hover the leg to start, and we're going to externally rotate here as well. We want to think about leading with our inner thigh and our lower abdominals for strengthening and leading with heel for movement. Let's take a breath in. Squeeze the breath out. Pull the leg up slow. It's not a big movement here. Come down with resistance. Inhaling. Again, lifting, squeezing, then hovering, breathing in. 4 more. 4. And hover. 3 more. Good, hover. 2 more times, so check that elbow and adjust if you need to. Lift and hover. 1 last time, exhale it up and hold it there. Now imagine there's a marker on the heel of your foot. Begin to draw circles with that marker. Your whole leg should be moving as one solid piece. And you're breathing with steady pace. 3, 2, 1. Let's pause. Reverse the direction. Inhale, exhale. Keep pushing through that heel. 3. Don't lose the flex of your foot. 2, 1. Pause. Slow pulses. Up, 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 up. 5, 4. Good. 3. Good. 2. 1. Good. Gently take that leg down. Yowza. Let's restack the body again once we're here. If your head is propped up like mine, we're just going to go ahead and rest down onto that left arm completely. We're going to lift that right arm to the sky, spread the fingers out, have the palm faced forward, and then plug that right shoulder down back into its socket. Point toes, squeeze glutes and legs tight, and let's take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift up your head, lift up your legs, cinching in that right side body. Take it down on an inhale. Again, lifting head and legs, exhaling. Make sure that right arm doesn't pull down. It's still vertical here, reaching to the sky. And then lower on an inhale. We're going to do 4 more here. 4. And take it back down. 3 more. Squeeze those legs tight, tight, tight. Down on an inhale. Make sure your left arm isn't doing much for you. It's just hanging out. 2 more. Lift. Good. Coming down. With this last one, let's lift the legs, lift the head, hold it there. Flutter kick the legs, tiny paddles. Prevent that right arm from moving. 3, 2, 1. And then let everything come down, arm included. When you're ready, we're going to go ahead and transition to the other side. So however that's easiest for you to make your way onto your right side body next. Again, a long line of energy, stacked up proper, hand to hip and elbow to sky. Push through those heels. Press the right side down. Hover the left. Subtle inward rotation. Line the neck up. And we start again. Lifting leg on the exhale. Hovering on the inhale. Again, keep legs slightly rolled in as it pulls up. Hover with resistance. We're going to do 4 more here. Belly strong, so each time that leg lifts up, feel the navel pull back towards spine. Hover. 3 more. And hover. 2 more times. Lift. Good. Hover. Once more, lifting leg up. Taking it back to hovered space. Point toes. Externally rotate, then pull the left leg slightly out in front. Keep that elbow steady. 2 taps down when you breathe in. Tap, tap. Lift leg high, breathing out. Tap behind twice, breathing in. Lifting on the exhale. Try to maintain as much stability as you can with your upper body. So again, more core. Use your right side body to its advantage, pressing it into the ground to keep you anchored in. Lift, behind. Inhale. 2 more. Tap, tap, lift. Good. Tap, tap, lift. Check that elbow. Adjust if you need. 1 more each. To the front. Behind. And then start to lower that leg till it comes to shoulder width distance from your bottom leg. Roll the leg back in and flex the foot from here. Micro pulses towards the sky. Tiny, tiny lifts. For 5, from the hip. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lower it all the way to the ground. Good. Bend your knee to the floor and tap out that hip. Side leg works. The exercises are hitting hard today for me. All right, let's take that left foot, step it behind the right leg. Right leg is going to angle out in front. Hand back to hip, elbow back to sky. Push out through the heel of your right foot. Hover the leg and kind of externally rotate. Inner thigh, lower core. We lift on the exhale. We hover on the inhale. Lift. And hover. 4 more. 4. And hover. 3 more. 2 more times. Lift. Hover. Once more. Good. Hold it here. Marker on that heel. Circles. Take your time. Breathe. 3, 2, 1, pause, reverse direction, inhale, exhale, 5, 4, 3, steady, 2, 1, stillness, slow, pulsing, up, 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 5, 4, 3, don't lose the flex of that foot, 2, keep it strong, 1, good, and then the leg comes all the way down. Restack the body once they're there. And again, if you're like me, we're going to rest on the right arm. Lift the left one up, spread the fingers, plug the shoulder down, point the toes, squeeze the legs. Let's inhale here. Lift head, lift legs up, breathing out. Lowering on an inhale. So now our right arm is just kind of hanging out, not doing anything. Exhale, lifting with our left side body strength. Cinch it in, cinch it up. Take it down, breathe in. We've got 4 more here. 4. And release. 3 more. And lower. 2 more times. Lift, steady, steady. Come down, breathing in. Once more, head and legs find their lift. Keep the lift. Flutter, kick the legs. Don't let that left arm shift. 3, keeping lifting up. 2, steady breath. 1, good. And then everything comes down, arm included. I want us to take a moment to stretch out a bit of our outer hips and inner thighs. So let's go ahead and roll into our backside here. Just checking the time, see what we have. Okay. I'm going to draw the knees to chest. Take the soles of the feet together and open the knees wide. You're going to either grab the outer edges of your feet or your ankles. I want you to pull the feet in closer to your body, but at the same time, press the knees further away. And then try to drop that tailbone back into the ground. I'm going to breathe into those hips. Breathe into those inner thighs. Deep inhale. Long and steady exhale. Couple more, breath in. Breath out. Last one, inhale. And then on the exhale, let the stretch release and take both feet back to the ground again. From here, we'll draw the right knee to the chest and place both hands onto that knee. Extend the left leg away from body, whether you reach it up high to the sky or take it as low as a hover or anywhere in between. Head can remain grounded, or you can lift it up for more heat. Elbows out, shoulders in. Inhale, switch your legs, left leg in, right leg out, and then switch it again. 1 breath, 1 movement. The legs move straight in, straight out. We don't want to cycle them, right? We don't want the circular movement. We want in and out to maintain our support, our stability. Keep the line of energy strong and level. And if you need to adjust your body by maybe taking the head down or maybe lifting it up if you want more, and maybe the extended leg lifts higher to the sky to ease or lower to the ground for more heat. Let's pick it up now. Inhale, switch the legs twice. And then exhale, switch twice. Inhale. Exhale. 4 more. 4. Exhale. Let's take our hands behind our head for the last 3. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale. Last ones. Exhale, switch. Switch, good. Both knees to body, head to the floor if it were up, hands on the knees, and rock gently side to side to recover. So I just want to pull a few from the abs series to do. So that was one of them, single leg stretch. I want us to move next into focusing on the lower abdominal region. It's a very simple movement, but very effective and can be somewhat challenging. We're going to lift the legs to the sky and drop the tailbone down. We never want the legs to be pulled in too close. The core doesn't really work when they're there. So the core works when the knees stack above hips. Feet are always going to be slightly more in front of us. So with that being said, you may practice this with a bend in the knees. And if you're bending your knees, you then have to readjust the legs and push them further away to line everything back up. Arms can be close in or out to T if you're wanting a little more assistance. When you breathe in, your legs are going to lower downward, maybe 1/3 of the way at best. Really pull into that lower belly deep to lift the knees back above the hips. Make sure it's going to feel like you're stopping short of movement, but you're not. Inhale, coming down. You're essentially just keeping your body in resistance the whole time. If we pull in too close, remember the core gives way. 4 more. 4. Like really take your time pulling that up. Inhale. So that way you're essentially just eliminating all chances of momentum and really focusing on muscle strength. 2 more, coming downward, breathing in. 1 last. Good, and then recover from here. We're gonna do 1 more from our ab series. We're gonna move into a double leg stretch. So we're gonna come back into stillness. Keep the knees in, keep your hands on your knees. Imprint your spine to anchor. Choose to keep your head grounded, or you can lift it up, and we'll move through. So on an inhale, both legs extend out in front of you as both arms reach behind you. Exhale, circle the arms around and draw the knees back in. So we're expanding both breath and body, and then we're contracting both breath and body. Inhale, reach away and pause at the top of your breath. And then pull through as you breathe out. Take 3 more, just like that. Reaching out slowly and pause there. Exhale, pull it in. 2 more. Reach and lengthen through your toes and lengthen through the fingertips. Squeeze it out and pull it in. Once more here. Inhale, slow reach, spine and prints. And then exhale, pull it in and rock gently side to side. Good. Come back into stillness. Both hands back to your right knee. Stretch the left leg to the ground this time and hug your right leg in closer to body, which helps to stretch your glute and your lower back. Once you've hugged the leg in, you're going to take your right arm extended out to its side. Using your left hand, begin to cross the right leg over body while looking over that right shoulder for rotational movement here, spinal twist. Breathe deep into this body. Let's do a couple more. One last time, breath in. Breathing out, firming up your belly again, lifting head through center and leg to center. Release the right leg, lengthen it out, pull the left leg in, both hands holding on. Hug closer to body. Shoulders pull away from ears. Left arm extends out to its side. Take as many breaths as you need to cross leg over to the right while you look over left shoulder for your spinal twist here. Couple more. Let's do 1 more, breath in. And then again, a strong core as you unwind, return back to center. And then once you have centered, bending the knees and grounding the feet. We're going to go ahead and draw 1 knee into chest, then the other, 1 at a time. Hands back to the knees, head and shoulders lifted off the ground, coiled into a little ball. I want you to start to rock that ball forward and back. Start small, and then I want you to use your abdominal strength to increase the rocking motion until you can bring yourself into seated. So from here, I want us to finish with a plank. We haven't done that in a while, so we're going to add it in today. 2 minutes, like we always do, but we break it up into 4. Remember, 30 being center plank, another 30 seconds is a side plank, returning back to center for another 30, and then finishing our last 30 with the other side plank. Remember, there's many ways to do our planks, so don't feel like you have to stay in the one that you started in, or that you don't have to do exactly what I do, right? So listening to your body for these. I'm just going to get a little timer set up here. Stopwatch. And then we're going to start with our 30-second center plank in 3, 2, 1. Begin for 30. You want all your muscles to work for you here in this space. So your legs are hugged to midline, your glutes are squeezed in tight. You don't want the hips and thighs sinking, so we pull them up, and that's from our lower belly. Puffing up between shoulder blades to activate chest. Keeping elbows soft so the arms aren't locked and those muscles get to work. And then looking slightly in front rather than letting the head hang. We're here, we're breathing. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. We open into a side plank. So both legs can be lifted or you can drop down to your bottom leg. Either way, we want to lift away from the floor. You want to reach that extended hand to the sky closer. If your legs are both lengthened, squeeze them tight and feel that bottom hip pull away from the ground. Open your chest. And we got about 7 more seconds here. 3, 2, we come back to center plank. Readjust. Again, you can come to knees here as well. Just make sure the hips pull forward. Legs, glutes, core, chest, arms, and gaze. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, then we open into our last side plank. Sorry, you're seeing the back of me. But really push off that grounded hand, right? We don't want to collapse into that bottom arm. We want to lift out of it. Legs hugged if they're both lifted to try to pull that bottom hip away from the floor more. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Gently come back to center, then lower to your knees, then sit back into a child's pose. Taking the arms and stretching them down beside you to release the shoulders. And breathing into your back body. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Again, breath in big. Breath out. One more time, inhale. When you breathe out, taking the arms out in front. Thread the right arm underneath the left and look to the left. Stretch out the shoulder. You can lift your hips to sky if you'd like to bring more weight onto that arm. So let that unravel. And then left arm threading underneath the right arm, looking to the right. Then pulling out of that, unraveling, and let's come back to seated again. Cross-legged this time. Sits bones grounded, heart lifted, arms beside you with palms facing up. I'd like you to take a deep inhale to reach those arms out to the side and lift them up high to the sky. Let the hands touch above your head. When you breathe out, I'd like you to pull your hands down through heart center. Connect. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, sweep down, out, and up high. Connect above, at the top, and connect within at the bottom. Once more. Inhale, gather up that energy between your arms and hold it there. Then take that energy and bring it within inside of you to your heart space. Chin to your chest, closed eyes, thanking yourself for being dedicated and motivated, being consistent with your practice, and continuing to move and breathe into your body so that you can have a lifetime of mobility and a Pilates practice. So thank you guys so very much once again for tuning in. Enjoy this. I'm off for the week next, but I'll see you in the following for more work to be done. Enjoy this. I'll see you all very soon.